Have you ever felt like making a great AI video is kind of like playing the lottery? You type in a prompt, you hit generate, and you just cross your fingers and hope for the best? Well, today, that all changes. We are going to break down the 6 essential skills that will take your AI video process from random guesswork to a repeatable cinematic workflow. Let's jump right in. And this right here is the absolute core of what we're talking about. It's not about writing these crazy, novel-length prompts. It's about using simple, really intentional techniques that give you control, create consistency, and, this is a big one, save you a ton of money because you're not just re-rolling over and over again. We're going to unpack the 6 skills that put you in the director's chair. So, here's the game plan. First, we'll talk about the big problem that I think we all face. Then, we'll build your foundation with the first couple of skills. After that, we're diving into how to craft a consistent world, and finally, how to really direct your vision and what that means for your future making films. Okay, so let's get real about the main problem. It's that feeling of getting totally random, uncontrollable results, right? One minute you get an absolute masterpiece, and the next, something completely useless. It feels way more like luck than actual skill. Our goal is to flip that script, to get you from making random clips to creating repeatable, intentional shots every single time. So let's start building that foundation. The secret to getting control doesn't actually start with the AI, it starts with you. These first 2 skills are all about mastering your inputs, the choices you make before you even think about hitting that generate button. So skill number 1 is your first big decision. What's your approach? Now, text-to-video is awesome when you just need something usable and you need it fast. But the trade-off is you have way less control, which usually means more reruns, and that costs more money. For total control, image-to-video is the pro move. You create the perfect still image first, and then you bring it to life. And because generating images is so much cheaper than video, you can tweak your subject to perfection without burning through all your credits. All right, skill number 2 is all about how you write your prompts. Using a big language model like Gemini can be great for just brainstorming ideas, but they tend to spit out these long, super complex prompts that are a total nightmare to edit. The real power, the real control, comes from short, structured prompts. They give you way more direct control and a much faster workflow because they're simple and so easy to modify. So what does a structured prompt actually look like? Well, it's a really simple 4-part formula. It's so easy. You start with your subject, a Jedi woman. Easy. Then the composition, a full body shot. Then you add the action, in a focused stance, holds a lightsaber. And finally, the location, in a rocky, vast desert. See? With this structure, you know exactly what every single word is doing, and you can change any one of those parts with total precision. Okay, so now we have control over a single shot. That's huge. But how do we build a whole world, a visually connected story? Skills 3 and 4 are all about graduating from making isolated clips to creating a consistent, cohesive world where every single shot feels like it belongs. And the secret weapon for world building? It's a technique called anchor keywords. These are just specific words that have a fixed identity and you repeat them across all of your prompts. Think of them like the creative DNA for your entire visual world. They are the absolute foundation that your story's look and feel is built on. And right here, this is your practical toolkit. You can lock in the style, say, military sci-fi. You can set the mood, like a gloomy cinematic atmosphere. You can even control the lighting, something specific like bicolor global illumination. You can even call out the camera you want it to look like it was shot on, or the film stock. These keywords are the levers you get to pull to build that consistent visual world from the ground up. Now, using anchor keywords gives you incredible control, for sure, but it does take a little bit of setup. So the obvious question is, what if you need that professional, consistent look, but you need it like way faster? The answer is skill number 4. You use cinematic consistency presets. Honestly, think of them as the ultimate shortcut. Instead of typing out every single detail, you just use simple controls, maybe some sliders to lock in a professional, Hollywood-style look. It saves you time, it saves you credits, and it absolutely guarantees consistency. It's a total game changer for your workflow. All right, so we've built our foundation and we've crafted a consistent world. All the technical problems? They're solved. Now it's time for the fun part. It's time to go from being a technician to an artist. Skills 5 and 6 are all about developing your own unique signature and using the tools of cinema to direct a real story. Look, if you just prompt Star Wars, you're going to get the same look as everybody else, not to mention some potential copyright headaches down the road. Skill 5 is all about creating an original style. First, find the genre foundation. So instead of Star Wars, think space opera. Second, create a copyright-safe name,
like Void Guard instead of Stormtrooper. And third, build your prompt using visual descriptions, not brand names. This is how you create a look that feels familiar but is 100% yours. And that brings us to our final and maybe the most important skill of all, cinematic storytelling. This is the big one. This is what separates a pretty cool-looking AI clip from a shot that feels like it was ripped straight out of a real movie. It's all about using the language of cinema to create tension, to create emotion, and to tell an actual story.
And just look at how this works. Your shot choices are your story choices. A high-angle shot that zooms out makes a character feel small, isolated. A slow push in on a close-up, that builds suspense and focuses us on their emotion. An extreme low angle makes someone feel powerful, dominant. Every single combination of camera angle and movement has a very specific narrative effect. This isn't just generating video. This is the language of a director. So here's the bottom line. By mastering these 6 skills, you've completely changed your relationship with AI video. You are no longer just rolling the dice and hoping for a good outcome. You are now intentionally directing the shot, controlling every single element from the ground up to serve your story. So there you have it. We've gone from mastering our inputs and building consistent worlds all the way to directing a truly cinematic story. The tools are not a mystery anymore. You have the full director's toolkit right at your fingertips. So the only real question left is, what story will you tell?